Hello, trying to get my camera set up here. I'm doing a terrible job. Although I'm very excited because I found some great streaming software, which is very exciting. So, hello. Welcome to Nails Over Coffee Reboot, episode 103. And if you're here, if you can say hi so I know you're here, if you have the ability to, drop some stars my way if you're on Facebook Live, that would be helpful. Some thumbs up and some subscribes on YouTube if you're watching there would be fantastic because that is how I'm going to be able to grow this platform. Today's cup is a new cup. It's new. So today's cup is Tigger. And Tigger is awesome because Tigger is wired for another day. So we had what would be considered a first world problem, tragedy in my house this week. I knocked off the blue Mickey mug off the coffee table and it broke a lot. And which was just totally par for the course on the day that I was having. But and yeah, I had a meltdown. But there is a silver lining in every black cloud. And that when I was searching for a replacement cup, I found that there was 2 more cups in the collection that I didn't know existed. And so then of course I had to have. So the same person that I got my replacement blue Mickey mug from, I got the Tigger mug. And then now there's a dopey one that I have found on eBay that I'm gonna have to go track down and purchase when I have money. But so right now, hello Geraldine, welcome. Yeah. So some good news on the Nails Over Coffee broadcasting stream front. I did after a bunch of research because you would have no idea how many different software applications are out there for streaming and podcasts and oh my gosh, there's just so many. So I finally found one. It seems it'll be perfect for what I want to do. And it allows me to get around this little YouTube mobile thing. So I will hopefully have that up and going next week. We'll see how it goes. So for right now, I'm still, which is why I was late, setting up like, I have my phone going on YouTube and I have my iPad going on Facebook Live. So, yeah. But that should be hopefully taken care of next week. If not, it'll be the week after. But, oh, and a funny little thing before we get into the topic I wanted to talk about today, which was, okay, so everybody in the world is following the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce thing, right? Okay, so, and I really didn't kind of understand, hello, Michelle. I didn't really kind of understand, I've never not liked Taylor, but I've never liked her, been a Swiftie either. So I decided last night to watch the documentary on Netflix of Taylor Swift. And I think it was made in maybe 2020. It's a couple years old now. I think it was done right before her Reputation tour maybe. Anyway, so I decided to watch that, which by the way, I think she's freaking adorable. And now I understand where she was in her career and with my age, why I wasn't Swiftie earlier. But anyway, it was interesting because in the documentary, this is nails related, I promise, I'm bringing it back. She was doing the nails of another artist or somebody, like in their dressing room at whatever award show it was, Grammys, VMAs, I don't know. And and I noticed it through the whole documentary. Like, she had her nails were polished, and they were short, but they were polished, and even when she was young. And so she was doing a gel manicure, which I know it was a gel manicure because um, he had a light sitting on his lap that was switching hands with while she was sitting on the floor doing nails, like on his lap, right? And he asked, he was like, how, you're really good at this. Like, how did you get so good at this? And she said, well, I really like having my nails done. And it's not like I could just walk in anywhere and get my nails done. So I had to teach myself how to do it. And I was like, I mean, of course, now I'm sure she probably has someone come to her house or her, hotel room or whatever, just like people who do her makeup and her hair and everything. But it really kind of made me think about all the different reasons that people have for not going to get their services done in a salon. Like, I think we always think about it from they don't want to spend the money, like, perspective, or they don't have it in their budget, or it's not that important to them, or, they don't have time. And I think it's kind of important to think about that maybe there's a whole lot of other reasons that people don't come into the salon to get their nails done. So that it might not be about money or time or any of that. I mean, when we're talking about breast cancer month and everything, I mean, potentially somebody is going through a health condition where they can't or shouldn't be out, or they're struggling because they're in chemo and they've lost all their hair, and whatever they put on their nails is only gonna last for 3 days anyway. So, and they got nothing but time on their hands because all they do is eat and sleep, or don't those people, you know what I mean, deserve to have good products to do their nails with and to be able to not feel bad for doing their own nails. We talk about mental health issues. There's a lot of mental health issues that would keep someone from going into a salon. Panic disorder, when I certainly understand close up, would certainly do it if it's not something you're comfortable with. Social anxiety disorder, and some of those people may go to discount salons just because of the anonymity, and there isn't really an expectation of talking or building a relationship with the person who's doing your nails. Something that for a lot of us is a trademark of what we do. And we consider it a value added to our service. For some people, it might not be that way. And so anyway, when I was watching the Taylor Swift documentary and I was seeing her doing her friend's nails before going on to a show and everything, it just kind of made me think about all those different reasons why. And like I said, I loved her. I mean, I liked her before. I think she's adorable, but I love her now. So, okay. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about our products that we use and how we get them, and the kind of decisions that manufacturers have to make when they're figuring out their distribution chain. Okay. So I have some pretty intimate knowledge of this from a couple different directions. But some of you may know that I have a product under my hat that I've been trying to get someone to formulate for me for about 3 years now, 3.5 years, 3.5 years. Um, and I've talked to some different chemists and chemist companies and actual like product manufacturers. Hello, good afternoon, Shanna. Um, I and it's so far outside the box that I can't quite get anybody to wrap their brain around that it's possible, and I know it's possible. So now I'm going to see if I can get somebody to let me. I'm thinking about taking a chemistry class for a quarter at my local community college, um, just because I have a master's degree, so I don't really need a chemistry class. But that was where I got my associates at, was our local community college. And I feel like if I sign up for a chemistry class that is appropriate for what I'm trying to do, that I can get the instructor to give me access to a lab, and then I have an address to get the products that I need sent to, where they will actually be allowed to be shipped because it's an institutional address. And then I have a whole quarter to formulate my product in the lab. So I'm thinking I might do that. I don't know, maybe winter quarter. Kind of missed the boat on fall quarter. Maybe winter. So we as professionals have gotten very frustrated with the products that are available to non-professional users via the internet, right? I mean, I think I can be fairly confident in saying that that's been kind of a bone of contention, right? So I have a lot of sympathy though for the manufacturers, because there's not a lot of distribution channels available to us. So there's obviously buy direct, right? A manufacturer can have their own website, and they can have their own shipping department and their own sales staff, and then they can do their own like order fulfillment, right? Okay, we know that's one. And they can sell through distributors. Okay. Some of those products available to the public are not safe either, says Shannon. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, I'll get to that. I'm making my way there. So they can sell through distributors, right? Which distributors, some of them then operate their own website, sales staff, shipping department, that whole kind of thing, right? So it's kind of like outsourcing the distribution part of your business model, right? But you still have to have a website, because everybody and their uncle has to have a website. Like if you are a nail professional and don't have a Facebook page for your business and a website, even a basic one, with your contact information, some pictures of your work and everything, then you're not doing your business justice. So everybody's gotta have a website anyway. But websites that don't have products for sale on them require significantly less maintenance than ones that have products for sale or services for sale or whatever. So outside of the beauty industry, right? There is distribution channels that are very different from that. So some distributors, like Cosmoprof and those kind of companies, have brick and mortar stores, but a lot of them don't. Or if they do, it's just one, and they have a store at their main location that they ship from and everything. So when you get outside of the professional beauty industry, There is a lot more options for distribution. So there are, and I got on this topic because Elaine Watson had posted something on her Facebook page about the Amazon model. So, yes, a company that is a fulfillment company like Amazon that has its own customer base, that has its own benefits to being a part of Amazon, is something that is available to all retailers. There is a model where, so like, say for example, just gonna pick a company. You know what? How about we do this? Let's use Essie, okay? Because Essie polish went from professional only to a consumer distribution model, right? Okay, so let's use Essie for example. So Essie makes this polish, right? And they have their website and it's got their polish information on it, and updated colors and all that. But because they're available to the consumer, they are able to send a chunk of inventory to Amazon and let Amazon fulfill those orders for a percentage that comes off the purchase price. And that essentially is costing Essie no money. And the reason why I say that is because if they distribute through a professional distributor like Cosmoprof, they have to sell their product to Cosmoprof at below what their wholesale price would be if they sold it direct to the consumer, because they've got to leave a profit margin for Cosmoprof, right? So and if they sell direct to consumer, they can make the full consumer price, right? So we can have the consumer price, and then we can have the wholesale, like nail professional type price, and then we have the distributor price, and then we go all the way down to like cost of manufacturing, like the actual cost that it takes to do that. Okay, so if a company like Essie decides that they're going to sell to the public and they're also going to sell to professionals, well, they can take a whole block of their colors, right? They can choose. They don't have to offer them all. They could offer their 20 most popular colors, right? And they can send those to Amazon. They can list them on Amazon. Amazon has a whole team of people who will help them do it. They can list them on Amazon. They can pay for fulfilled by Amazon. So now, say that bottle of polish is $10. That's the consumer price, is $10. So they're going to charge $10 for the customer's going to pay $10, and Amazon's going to take a 12% fee, whatever. I'm going to say 10. I know it's more than this, but I'm going to say 10% just because I don't feel like doing math today. So following along with me, right? So now Essie made 10% of $10 is $1. So now Essie made $9 off this bottle of polish, right? And they did nothing other than design the color, go through all the hoops to get it manufactured, and put out the money to have the inventory made, right? And then they might not even have shipped it to Amazon. They might have had it dropped shipped from the facility that made it. So then it just goes to the Amazon fulfillment center. And there it sits. And Amazon does the rest. It goes up on the website, you know what I mean? If they decide they want to run promos or whatever, they have the option to do that. But the Amazon stuff pushes it out. If they decide they want to run, if they want to have it pop up in the sponsored content on an Amazon search, they can pay a little bit extra for that. Now, you take that same $10 consumer price bottle of polish, Okay, well, I don't know about you, but if a bottle of polish is worth $10 to the consumer, I'm not interested in paying much more than about $6 for it. 5 would be better, but I'd probably do 6. If it was a company that had a huge following from the consumer, like they're looking for certain colors, then I might go $6.50 or $7. But I'm not paying consumer prices for product that I'm going to stock and use in the salon. I'm just not. It's not. My business model can't afford that. So now, say Essie wants to make sure that their professionals still feel like they're being served and they have access to these colors and everything. So they're going to sell. They're going to make our price $5. Again, I'm going with easy math, right? So now they made $9. They sold for $9 on Amazon direct to the consumer. But they only sold for $5 to us. Can you see where I'm going with this? And if we go into Cosmoprof and buy that same bottle of polish at $5, Cosmoprof only probably paid $3 for it. So now, let's just think about it for a second, right? And that's talking about that. Now, if we're talking about other, and if they're selling directly to the consumer, they can send that whole chunk of product, like this whole lot of product, right? They can make a deal with Kroger and they can send literally tens of thousands of bottles of polish to they can have it manufactured and drop shipped, ground freight, to the Kroger main distribution center. And then Kroger cuts them a check. So now Kroger's going to sell it for $10. And with margins and stuff, Kroger's probably going to expect to pay $6 or so a bottle, about what we would expect to pay, $5 or $6. And then they're going to sell it for 10, right? So again, they can take tens of thousands of bottles of this polish, have it manufactured, have it drop shipped to Kroger, and then they're really done. Other than doing maybe some shelf tag marketing or some promos. They got some new colors coming out, so they make the little chipboard displays that you see in the grocery store for colors for the season or whatever. Other than doing, it's called POP, point of purchase merchandising. Other than doing some pop here and there and all that, they can kind of be hands off from that too, because they're an established brand. Now, a new brand has to do some different marketing. That's a whole other video. But an established brand can kind of just go, okay, here you go, and then be done with it. And they got $6 a bottle. So can you understand why the walk-in distributor model for professional-only products is tough? It's tough on the manufacturers, because they're going to have to sell something for $3.50 to a distributor that they could sell direct to us for $5, or to a big boxy retailer type place for $6, or they could sell direct to the customer for $9. You see, and then we're the ones who are jumping up and down, screaming and yelling about pro only. And somewhere in that whole business model, if they're pro only, they have to fit in things like education and certification and salon locators and all of that. So it's not as simple as it would seem, like that whole, why do they just not sell to them? So, for example, I buy well, all my acrylic products, but liquid and powder. But I buy most of my enhancement products from Tammy Taylor Nails. I'm still a Tammy Taylor girl since 1996. Hi, Tammy. Still here. Um, but now what Tammy's done is Tammy has always had. She tried going with some distributors for a while, and she might still be smattered in a few here and there, but for the most part, she doesn't like having that lack of control. Hence the products being available to the public. She doesn't really like having that lack of control. Um, so Tammy has always had a shipping and receiving department, her own sales staff that which is great. I love it. My sales guy has been my sales guy forever. I remember when he first became a sales guy and I was like, dude, I know more than you do, bruh. But, it's been enough years now that actually he does know a lot, and he's been doing it for a long time now. And he has me on a text message thing where I get my own set of specials and they get texted to me every Monday morning after their sales meeting. Um, and she has a website. I could, in fact, order from a website, a pro only Tammy Taylor Nails website. I could do that. That's an option. I have to go through a process of showing my license and all that kind of stuff and having an account and everything. Or I can text Art my order and get that. Or I could call him and place my order, although phones, yuck. Who calls? So glad that I don't have to call a bunch of places anymore. Thank God for text messaging and websites. But then she also has a website that is for the public, and it has for the public prices and for the public products. There's a little gray area there. There's a couple products on her public site that I don't know that I necessarily would sell to the public, but it's not my company, so whatever. And they're what I would expect them to be, And so just out of curiosity, a couple weeks ago, I got on Amazon after Elaine brought this up on her Facebook page. I got on Amazon, and yeah, there's Tammy Taylor Nails products on Amazon. They're nothing that I would expect a consumer to be able to buy. They're files and top coats and stuff like that. They're totally consumer products. But they're on Amazon and they're fulfilled by Amazon, which means she just ordered extra of some of this product one time, sent it off to an Amazon fulfillment center, and now it's just sitting there making money. My point is that we throw a little fit about companies not being pro only. And I think that we need to make sure that comes from a place of understanding why that's so upsetting to us. And so to come back around to, Shannon brought up a point of some of these, right, Kate? Hi, Kate. Kate saying thank you for reminding her to look for the pro section at Amazon. Right? Yeah. But so coming back around to what Shannon was saying, yes, we do have a problem with products, especially UV cured products, getting into the hands of people who don't know how to use them. That is a problem. Because we know as professionals that that's where allergies and sensitivities come from, is people not knowing how to properly cure these products. And then people develop allergies and then they go, oh, gels are bad. And doctors go, oh, gels are bad. And it's like, oh, no, you probably shouldn't have let a bunch of people use them who don't know how to use them. Right? I mean, we all know this, right? That's what we throw our little fits about. But, so there is some truth to that. However, I think that we need to look at this from a broader standpoint of, say 100% of women, okay? And I'm just going to use the United States because that's where I am. Say the 150 million women or whatever there is in this country right now. I haven't checked the population for a while. There's 10% of those women who are never going to do anything with their nails much beyond buy a pair of nail clippers ever. They're just not. They're not going to put nail strengthener on them. They're not going to buy an emery board. When one of their nails breaks off or rips off, they're just going to rub it on the top of their jeans to smooth it down so it doesn't catch on things and go back about their business. There's 10% easily that are just, they're just never gonna do anything with their nails, right? And then there's like, I'm gonna say 10%. There's 10% who are never going to do anything themselves with their nails, but they're always going to have their nails done. Now, I'm not talking about the casual nail salon goer. I'm talking about like the diehards, right? The people who their nails are always done and they're never going to do them themselves. These are the clients that when we have them in their chair and we're like, well, you know, if you have a file at home and some top coat, you can like smooth down any catches, you know, if your color starts to get dull, you can put another coat of clear on it. And they're like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing any of that, right? We know those clients, right? So I would say that's probably like another 10% of the nail consumer base. And then there's probably like another, I would say another 20% that are, they're going to do their nails at home sometimes. Sometimes they're not going to do anything with them. And sometimes they're going to go to a salon. Maybe it's for a special occasion, or because they have a particular issue with their nails, or they're just lazy, or they got a bonus at work, or it's a spa day, or they're all going to go with their girlfriends or whatever. But there's probably another 20%, 30%. I'll even go generous and say 30% that are regular salon goers, but they're not the diehards. They'll go without it for a while, right? Those are the people that were lost during COVID. The 10% that aren't ever going to do their own nails, they're the ones who came running right back as soon as everything reopened, right? But they're the ones who are going to come running right back. But that like 20 to 30%, those are the people who had to learn how to do some of their own stuff when COVID was going on. They had to go buy products because going to the salon wasn't an option. So they had to do that. And those are the people that we were having a hard time drawing back in, right? Shannon says, the reason why these companies are going on Amazon now is to combat the knockoff products or imitation products. Right, yeah. Again, see, you're just ahead of me. You're just ahead of me. Patience. So, and then like that leaves the like casual DIY nail person in the middle at what? So about 60%, right? These are the people who they don't really think about their nails all that much, but they have some polish and they'll put some polish on them when they're, getting ready to go do something or whatever, right? Or some color comes out that catches their fancy or whatever. So, 30, 40, 50, no, 50%, because I went with 30% with the other one. So those people, that 50%, they're the 50% that are buying polish, that are buying files, maybe they're going to dabble in this new like DIY gel polish thing or whatever. Dabble, you know? It's that 30%. It's that 30% that's the problem with how we distribute our products, because that 30% who will do their own nails have done their own nails enough that were forced to do their own stuff during the pandemic. Those are the people who are buying e-files and UV lights and liquid and powder products and gel nail products and tips and all that, right? Those are the people that are buying those things. And if you're a nail manufacturer and you have a limited polish color line, right? Which, let's face it, a lot of people don't even wear traditional lacquer anymore. Since we have gel polish and hybrids like shellac and stuff, the vast majority of the time somebody comes into the salon, even the one offer who just comes in, they get a gel polish because of the extended wear, right? Or dazzle dry if you are a dazzle dry salon, you know, they get an extended wear polish. So what are these manufacturers supposed to do, right? They got to make money. But if they go on Amazon, we throw a fit because they're available to the public. Well, everything's available to the public. They're gonna buy it from somewhere. If you're on Alibaba or AliExpress, there's not that many. There's only like 3 product manufacturers in the United States, like actual plant facilities. And there's a lot. There's a lot in China and overseas. And the only marketplace bigger than Amazon is Alibaba and AliExpress. And so a lot of the companies that we're buying products from here in the States that are branded products are just private label products that they purchased from Alibaba and had the private labeling done, which is pretty typical. It's a pretty common manufacturing thing to have private label products. That might be, the formulation might be tweaked a little bit, but they're essentially the same. And then those manufacturers in China are selling them on AliExpress. Now, that doesn't count for the true knockoffs. So if you guys, I'll see if I can go back and find the video and link it in the comments below. I don't know if you guys remember when I purchased a bunch of knockoff shellac off of, I don't know, Wish or one of those places, which is essentially AliExpress. Like what Temu is now. And I tried it and it was horrid. It was bad. It was bad. Oh my God, it was bad. Like, it destroyed your nails. It didn't last in some cases. It smelled. Oh my God. I mean, I've been doing nails for 20, however many years, and the smell of it actually gave me a headache. Right? Kate says she remembers the fake shellac. And they did a good job. The bottle looks like it. If you didn't know any better, you might actually believe it. It was like a really good, like a good Louis Vuitton or Prada purse or wallet knockoff. Shannon says it's the one sold as shellac on Amazon. Yeah. So I think that we as professionals, for one, I think we need to cut some of these manufacturers some slack. Some of them don't deserve the slack. Don't get me wrong. There's some that have been selling their actual liquid and powder products on Amazon, no license check required, for years. And I don't have any patience for them. So that's, and we all know who they are. And so I don't need to call them out by name. And I don't feel like fielding those phone calls this week. I got too much shit to do. So, but we all know who they are, right? Those companies that have been selling that shit on Amazon, no license required forever. But I think we need to back off a little bit with the companies and their distribution models, because there's so much more to it than most people give some thought to, you know? Of course, we want them to make money. They deserve to make money. They have a product and they have investments in it, and they're just like we deserve to make money doing nails. They deserve to make money selling their product. That's what they've chosen to do, right? And we would want them to have a livable profit, and we would want anybody who works for them to have a livable profit and health insurance and retirement and all that, right? And we want the people who, you know, the distributors, they deserve to be profitable. If they're not profitable, we don't get to get pissed and we don't have one in our town anymore. Like, I think we need to take a step back and really think about I'll get to that in a second, Shanna. We need to think about the actual business of it and cut some companies some slack, because they need to make money. You know, I remember when Vivian had the Dazzle Dry, the little mini kits that had the prep and base coat and top coat in one color, just a little in the little teeny tiny bottles. When they had the mini kits, they had the mini kits on Amazon for a consumer price. It wasn't a pro only price, right? It was a consumer price. Dazzle Dry still operates their own pro only and consumer websites, all that. And so they had like the mini flights that were on Amazon. And everybody was throwing a fit, going, you know, well, they said they would always be pro only and, you know, all that. And I'm like, oh, come on. They're not selling their full line. They're not selling stuff that really is kind of dangerous in the hands of, I mean, some of the stuff we use for callus removal in the wrong hands can be pretty dangerous. So, so it was polish, and it was little like gift sets of polish, and it was not cheap. And so I'm like, you know, and so I think we're going to see more companies go to the Amazon distribution model. I got to tell you, I would, if I can get this product formulated, I'm going to have a 2-tier pricing structure. I'm going to have a wholesale price available to the professional and a product, you know, a wholesale price available to the professional and a consumer price. And I'm probably going to go with Amazon, because you know what? I don't want to deal with it. I would rather spend time creating new products and making education videos and doing live streams and going marketing and all that. I would way rather be doing that than boxing up a gazillion boxes every day to have the post office pick up, right? Like, who wants to do that? If I can outsource that to Amazon and they're going to list it for me, and all that shit, then why wouldn't I do that? So Shanna says if you even go in some of the ethnic, we shall say, distribution stores, you can find knockoff or questionable products. And yeah, I mean, it's buyer beware. Because this is a very capitalistic kind of cynical way of looking at it, but that doesn't make it any less true. There is a customer for everything. And if somebody's going to, if somebody just wants to make money, that's what they care about, is making money, right? They care about themselves and making money. Then if they can make more money off the knockoff product and they don't care if it's good for, just like supplement companies or anybody who sells anything, right? That doesn't need FDA approval or whatever, EU commission approval, whatever. Like, they don't care. They're just trying to make money. So that's like whole buyer beware, right? Like, that's on us. And so I think we need to figure out, and I have an idea and I'm working on it, and you guys are going to have a shit fit when I tell you about it. But we're got an idea where we need to reach hardcore that 30% that are the ones that are going to give a go at doing their own nails at home with products that could hurt them. And the 50% that are the ones who are just buying they're buying Nail Boo or whatever because they saw it on their Instagram feed or whatever. Those people, we need to find a way as professionals to get to those people and get them educated. Because an educated consumer ultimately is better for all of us, right? Yeah, I mean, the whole, they want to have more capital. They want more sales. And the companies, I mean, can I blame them? I mean, granted, one of my things I throw a fit about is conscious capitalism. So yeah, I kind of can blame them because there is a responsible way to make money. And I think that the problem we have is we don't have enough conscious capitalism. But that is a podcast that is going to happen soon. It's actually on my list of podcasts. Kate has a comment here. Everyone deserves to earn a good living, and I have no problems with competition. Competition is good for all industries and for the consumer, but she has a little but with asterisks around it. If someone is doing it in a way that is misleading, or they're finding loopholes to avoid legal liability, not going through the protocols for regulation and safety, etc., then I get upset. Absolutely. So I think that, but the bottom line is, if nobody's buying it, then the shit goes away, right? And how does stuff become common knowledge, right? How does stuff become common knowledge? Like, we all know, if you put bleach on your hair, doesn't matter, professional, box from the store, doesn't matter. If you put high lift hair bleach on your hair and you leave it on for too long, or you have too much heat or whatever, your hair is going to melt and break off. We all know it. Everybody knows it. You can have had it never happen to you in your whole life and not even know anybody who did it. But we all know it, right? It became common knowledge. That's what we need to have happen in the nail industry, is we need the idea of what the bad shit is that can happen that is completely avoidable if the product is used properly, but will really fuck your shit up if used improperly. And sometimes it's best left to the professionals. We need that information to become common knowledge to the public. And we as professionals have not done a good job of that. We haven't. We've been screaming into our own echo chamber and not doing a really good job of both educating the DIY user and educating the public on the bad as well as the good. Like, there's a lot to be done with this. And I think we need to maybe think outside the box a little bit, because the way we've been doing it for the last 40 years ain't working. It's not. We are no more advanced in how consumers think of us than we were 40 years ago, 50 years ago. I mean, in the 70s when back scratchers came out, when OPI launched with the actual nail product line, not their denture line, you know? How far have we really come from that? Not far enough. Not as far as we should have in 50 years. So, I don't know. I'm the marketing girl. I think I'm going to dream up some way to take my existing idea that you guys are going to have a fit about until I explain it to you, and tie it in with a way to get some information out to the masses. Yeah. So I think we just need to be more, the bottom line is, I think we need to be more thoughtful about how we are purchasing our products, right? And I think we need to be more thoughtful as professionals of what we are demanding from the product manufacturers. And I think that we need to cut some of them a little slack. And I think as we see some manufacturers go to the Amazon fulfillment, but they have a pro store, and so Amazon checks licenses and certification and everything before you can order from there. I think we need to not do what we normally do, which is throw a little fucking fit 5 seconds after we find something. And we need to just kind of slow our roll, whoa on the horses, and give some of these distributors a chance to kind of work out some of this stuff. Because I think we're about ready to see kind of a change. You know, you can only have stagnant growth and a suffocated business model for so long. Eventually you got to do something to fix it. And I don't blame them for that. So, yeah, I just think we should be more mindful. So, that's all I had to say for today. Well, I mean, there's always more to say. But, so yeah, if you want to get me on the topic of conscious capitalism, I'll make sure to run back by here and drop the link to the podcast when I get the podcast going on the Amusing Michelle platform. But yeah, so if you like talking about nail professional crap and listening to me ramble and engage, I've got some comments on both this time. So thank you for that. And I have streaming software that will allow me to literally simultaneously stream on both places. And so I'm really excited about getting that going. You know, make sure you drop any comments or questions in the chat. I can certainly pop back in later and we can talk about it in the comment sections. You know, hit subscribe, hit follow, give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts and some likes and some stars, maybe. I'd like to have some stars. Some stars would be good. And, you know, share with your friends, share in your nail groups. Um, you know, do all the things. Because Nails Over Coffee, what up? I got to get logo stuff done, and I have to decorate my little live area here, which I actually think I'm going to move into the other room. I think I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to move it in the other room. This is my salon room I'm in right now. I think I'm going to move it into another room and give it its own little staged corner. Almost like I'm trying to figure out how to do this for a living. Trying to take this marketing degree out for a spin. And oh my God, my nails are pink and white. I have not had pink and white nails, and I don't even know how long. But I put some glitter on them. I'm trying to see my glitter. But I have not had pink and white nails for so long that I was going to put color over them. And then I was like, no, I'm going to leave them pink and white for a minute. And it looks weird. It's been like, I don't know, mid 2000s maybe, since I've worn pink and whites all the time. And yeah, so they'll be black like my soul when I get sick of the pink and white. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody for joining in today. Hit like, share, follow, all the things, leave comments, and we'll continue the conversation. If you have anything come up that you would like us to talk about in a future live, you can send me a message on Facebook. If you're following on the YouTube stream, it is facebook.com/NailsOverCoffee. If you are following on Facebook, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/NailsOverCoffee archive, because it automatically archives the streams. And you know, send me a message or drop a comment, and you know, about some topics you want to talk about, and we'll, you know, pull some topics from there. All right. Peace out. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, make tons of money, and happy times. All right. See you later. Bye now, peoples. Tigger says bye.